Okay, welcome to the Cape Computer Science Unit 1 multiple choice specimen paper. This is the specimen paper for the exams that will be examinable from 2022 on. I'm going to work out all of the multiple choice questions, and some of them I'm going to work out. I may make mistakes along the way, or I may take some deductive reasoning based on how the question is stated, which may or may not make sense. So what we will do is at the end, we will compare it with their specimen answers, see if the specimen answers are making sense, and then if it doesn't make sense, we'll have to decide which answer we're going with and make a choice based on the correct answer or the specimen answer or the logical answer. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, share it with somebody, something like that. Alright, let's go. This is the specimen paper. Of course, this is the 2022 syllabus, so that means this should be new stuff that we encountering. Should be. I mean, we hope it's not just repeated questions from way back when. Alright, 2022 specimen paper. This is for 2022 and on. Alright, refer to the following binary string, which is blah blah blah. What's the sign and magnitude representation? Alright, so sign and magnitude, first thing we have to check to do is the sign. So this here means it's negative. And then we have to take this piece here and convert it to its binary equivalent, which will be 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 16 and 4, 28, 20. 16 and 4 is 20 and 8, 29, so it'll be negative 29. Answer is C. Cool. The string sequence is the 8-bit 2's complement representation of decimal value. What? Alright, so if we take this now and we do 2's complement, then we are going to have to reverse it. 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 1. If we reverse that, we add an invert and add 1, so it'll be 0 1 1 0 0 0 1 0 and add 1. It will be, oh no, something wrong. Alright, yeah. So we take the 1, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 1, 0 0 0 0 1 1 0. This is, no, how I end up with more than, no, I end up with more bits than I should have. No, is 8 bits? 1 2 3 4. Oh, it's 3 zeros here. Right. Alright, so this is 1 2 4 8 16 32 64. So that's 64 plus 32 is 96, 96, and 2 is 98, and 1 is 99, so negative 99. Right, and we continue. What is the logical expression implemented in the following circuit? This is A, this is a AND. So A and not B, A and not B, because this is a not. So this, the thing here will be not B. Yep. Number 4, which of the following descriptions best suits the function of cache memory? Cache memory is increases data transfer rate between the computer and the CPU, gives the CPU more rapid access to data. I would go with A, because it gives the CPU more rapid access, meaning you can get to the data faster. It doesn't necessarily increase the data transfer rate, because the data transfer rate depends on the clock speed of the CPU. So A looks like the better answer to me. Looks like it. Number 5, computer's word size is the number of bits that the CPU can manipulate at one time. That sounds better. A is close in terms of length of instruction. No, length of instruction is not close enough. No, So we'll go with D. We'll take D there. Then number 6, what is the purpose of the program counter in a microcomputer? The program counter is to hold the number of the last instruction executed, to determine the sequence of which the program instructions are to be executed, to determine how many programs can be done at one time, to keep account of the number of instructions in memory. Well, this one is tough. The last two kind of close. I can see why it's confusing. Because the definition of the program counter is to keep track of the next instruction to be executed. It manages the memory address of the instruction to be executed next, and I see next. They have only number of the last instruction executed. It has to do something with memory. The program counter definitely keeps track of memory addresses that you'll have. So I'll have to assume that it's D. It must have memory included in it. It must have memory. It's not a number, it's memory, right? So D is the closest one, even though it's not the exact definition of a program counter, because the program counter is supposed to keep track of the next instruction that's going to be executed, the memory location of the next instruction. But we'll take it. Flash memory is what type of memory? That is called EEPROM, because flash memory could be electrically erased, so that's why it will be double EEPROM, because it's electrically erasable, programmable read-only memory. So that would be like a flash drive. Cool. Number 8, which of the following gives the slowest access when retrieving data? Slowest would be a floppy disk. Clearly. Number 9, which of the following is the truth table of a NAND gate? Not AND. A NAND gate will be basically the opposite of an AND gate. An AND gate is 0, 0, 0, 1, because only 1 and 1. So the opposite of that will be 1, 1, 1, 0. C. Yeah. Yeah, not AND. So the opposite of what you would get from an AND gate. Yeah, that's C. Number 10, which of the following best defines the term clock speed? Clock speed is the speed at which the microprocessor executes instructions, the speed at which the microprocessor transfers data from secondary to primary storage, the number of bits transferred across a medium in a second, number of clock cycles which occur within a nanosecond. The definition of clock speed, boy, that is this one is tight, because you could definitely have something to do with time per second. So I believe the number of bits transferred across a medium in a second. But this thing, a medium, it's I'll take D, because that's the only one that references per second, because clock speed is in hertz. So if it's gonna be measured in hertz, you have to have per second. And nothing else that has per second in it. Speed at which transfers clock cycles within a nanosecond is definitely not nanoseconds. Alright, so D will be the closest one there. When we check we'll check the specimen paper answers and see if they match up and dispute or complain when necessary. Which of the following statements about flip-flops are true? Flip-flops are example of defective logic circuits. It's kind of weird. That sounds wrong. Flip-flops are two-state devices that can only store ones and zeros. That is correct. Registers are made up of flip-flops. That is correct also. So we're looking for 2 and 3. So we'll take 2 and 3, which is C. Alright, refer to the following components: ALU, CU, registers, and RAM. Match each item below with one of the components above. Each option may be used once. Okay. Which of the following components handle statements if x is less than 0? That will be the ALU, because that's logical, mathematical calculations. Which of the following coordinates the saving of files to a hard drive? That would be the CU, control unit, because when the operation is done inside the processor, they will have to send it to, like, you know, its final destination, sort of, something like that. Which of the following types of computers is best suited for weather application at the national heights? Weather is supercomputer, because to predict the weather takes a lot of processors, so supercomputer. The following program segment written in low-level instructions: load X, loads contents into the accumulator, add ink, add the contents to the accumulator, store X. This is a repeated one, I believe. I've seen this one before somewhere. Which address format is used? This is definitely one address. Why did I underline 0 address? One address, because it only has one address for each one of them. And one address basically uses one register and the accumulator. The accumulator is like a one-stop shop to hold all the temporary values or something like that. Which of the following can be used to represent an algorithm graphically? Flowchart. Yeah, detailed flow diagrams is to represent more processes than anything. Refer to the following algorithm: num is equal to 5, for I is equal to 1 to num, do print I multiply by 2. This algorithm is an example of a bounded iteration because it's a for loop. For loops are bounded. They know when they're starting and when they're finishing, while loops are unbounded. What is the output of the algorithm? Nani? 1 to 5 will print I multiplied by 2. I'm very concerned. That's not making sense. If they have prints open brackets I multiplied by 2, that'll make sense to me, but then they don't have any quotes. If they had quotes, then I multiplied by 2 would have been what was printed, so D could be confusing. Alright, so 1 by 2 is 2, 2 by 2 is 4. It should do it 5 times. So we're supposed to get 1 by 2 is 2, 2 by 2 is 4, 3 by 2 is 6, 4 by 2 is 8, and if it's 5 by 2 is 10. Yeah, so it should be C. I hope. The only reason it wouldn't be D is because they didn't put quotes. If they had print and quotes I star 2, that means I star 2 would be treated as text and it would have been D, but it's not. So we will assume it's that, right? 18, right? 19. Which of the following represents the properties of a well-designed algorithm? Clearly defined and unambiguous, correct finite number of steps, yes, gives a general solution to the problem. I would guess so. We'll take D there. That look like a repeated one from some year. What is a sentinel value in an algorithm? A sentinel value is a value which helps to terminate the loop. Yeah. That's basically what you have to increment. Am I mixing it up? No, I think it's, that's basically what you use to increment. So like C is equal to C plus 1, that'll be the sentinel value. 21. Implementation of the implementation and review stage of problem solving involves what? Installation of the software. Excuse me. Number 12. 22. An assignment statement is used to set a variable to take the value of an expression. I guess so. It doesn't always have to be an expression. It could just be a value. So it could just be set a variable to take the value of an expression. Okay. Which of the following control structures can be used when attempting to read data from a file where the number of records is not known? Not known. A sentinel control loop. If it's not known yet, that means you had to control the loop based on the value, a value or something like that. So they tell you the number of records is not known. You'll say while not end of file or something like that. Or while value is not equal to -1 because -1 is the last number or something of that sort. 24. The following algorithm is needed to print half the sum of two positive integers entered by the user. Following algorithm, okay. Which line contains an error? And they want to print half the sum of two positive integers entered by the user. We have the two positive integers, which is a and b, and they want to print half of the sum. The only error I could see there is line 4 because the print statement wrong. It should say print half of sum is, right? Am I missing something? I am lost. Okay. How to be D? Because the output statement is just, it shouldn't say the sum is, it should say half of the sum is. Because everything else correct. The sum of B and A divided by 2. That'll be it. Okay. We'll see what happens when you check the exam, the answers, because that's weird. 25. The algorithm above best illustrates an example of what? Well, there's a test. Once I is not equal to 12, so it's a first test iteration, I guess. There definitely is no selection because there is no if or anything inside there. And if it's our last test iteration, it would have been repeat until, but in this case they have a while, so we'll take that. Alright, 26. Which of the following best describes the type of statement used in line V or line 5? That is I is equal to I plus 1. It's not a variable declaration. It's an incremental statement because it's incrementing. Although I never heard of the term incremental statement, but it just makes sense to call it an incremental statement because it's a statement that increments. I think so. Yeah, I'll take that. Item 27 refers to the following algorithm function int n. If n is less than 1, return function int. What's the output of the above algorithm if it is called with n is equal to 7? Alright, so putting in a 7 here. If 7 is less than 1, return. It's not less than 1, so there's no return. Function is equal to 7 divided by 2. So that's going to set back into here 3.5. 3.5 will be the new number. Is 3.5 less than 1? The answer is no, so then you're gonna get 3.5 divided by 2. 3.5 divided by 2 will be 1.25. No, 1.75. 1.5, yeah, 1.75. Yeah, it'll be 1.75, so 1.75 goes back in. 1.75 is not less than 1, so you're going to end up having 1.75 divided by 2, which will give you back, I don't know, 0. Something 5. Point is, it'll be less than 1, so therefore it'll just return. I am lost. Let's do that over, because the answers have nothing like that. Slowly now. n is 7. So if this n 7 is 7 less than 1, the answer is no. It will call the function of n2. However, the print n will never get to run because when the function gets called, it will call back itself. This is a recursion. Oh, okay. Right, so what will happen is it will call back itself, and then we will end up getting half of the n, which is 3, because it's an integer, so it will round it down to 3. And then it will call back the function with, so the second loop now will be 3. 7 is the first one that goes back up, 3 is the next one that goes back up, and then the next one that goes back up will be 1. But because of how recursion works, the last thing that will happen is that it will print n. The n that will print from the last time the function runs will be 1. Alright, it will print 137. But that's some high level maths. No maths. Because what will happen is that the 1 will print out first, then the function will be over. But it will still be in the previous function I was running it, so the 3 will run next, and then the 7 will run, and then the original function I was called would have run out. When we get to the answers, we'll see if that's what they have, but I think that is the concept of recursion there. However, I didn't know they want students to know how to do a recursive algorithm. That's kind of wicked though in Unit 1, right? Wait, where's the CXC? Okay. Note 28 refers to the following algorithm. What is the output generated by the algorithm if A is 15 and B is 22? If A is 15 and B is 22. Alright, so let's go 15, 22. If A and B equal, then print equals, so definitely not gonna print that. Else, if A is greater than B, we're not doing that either. Else, print B is larger. So it will just say B is larger. C it is. What are the values of P and R after execution of the following algorithm? The values of P and R. Okay, so we have P is 8, Q is 4, Q is 4, R is 8. If P is greater than Q, that is correct, and Q is greater than R, that is not correct. Therefore, we will have R is equal to R minus 1, which is 8 is equal to 8 minus 1. R will end up being 7. So we know R is 7. P is still 8. Yeah, P is 8. Never changed. So 8 greater than 4. Correct. And Q greater than R. That's not. So both of them have to be true for the condition, for the first condition to run, but this first condition will never get to run. It will be the second condition, which will be R take away R. Alright, cool. 8 minus 8. Right, nice. 30 refers to the following symbol. The flowchart symbol above represents a terminator. I'll start and stop. Essentially a flowchart. Flowchart must start and stop. The programming paradigm that models real world entities with attributes and behaviors is object oriented. Real world entities. Giveaway. 32. Which of the following variable declarations is valid in C? Or the only one that is valid? Well, I mean, float n is, this one is wrong for sure because a character, so let's be one character. Int m, this is an array, so you're supposed to have the square brackets. A float could be 84, 0.321, yes, that is correct. Y is an int x. Oh, they just have int x, right? Okay, so the answer is B. Alright, which of the following programming paradigms encourages a modular approach to program construction? Modular approach is functional because you break it down into smaller functions, so that's functional. 34, what is printed by the following code? The following code is int j equals 1 while j is less than 8, so that means it will go up to like 1 to 7. So printf num j, so it's going to print location 1 to 7. Hold up, j is equal to j multiplied by 2. So it's going to do 1 by 2, so it'll print location 1. And then the second time it will be, j will become 1 by 2, which is 2. So it'll be 2, so 2030. But 2 by 2 will be 4, so the next time will be 4, so 2050. And then 4 by 2 will be 8, and then it will stop. So it should print 20, 30, 50. That looks like C. Did I get caught? Nope, because 4 by 2 is 8, j less than 8. It has to be less than 8, so it won't continue. Alright, cool. 20, 30, 50. Good. Which of the following is not a valid identifier for a variable? B. You can't put a number to start a variable. That's illegal. That's illegal. What is the error in the code in the following C program that is intended to print the string constant? C programming is fun. The error is printf. Right, the function main is missing. You must have a main function. You're given the following C declaration, int vals 15, which option below shows how 15 integers can be stored in the array? The 15 integers can be stored in the array. If we go from 1 to less than or equal to 15, that would do 15. We will take the j and put it inside vals j. This one looking correct. Because if you start at 1 less than or equal to 15, if you start at 0 and go to 15, oh no, you can't do this one because an array starts at 0. So therefore you have to do this one. Can be stored in the array. Shows how 15 integers can be stored in the array. 15 integers stored in the array. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 stored in the array. Yeah, this one not stored in the array, that one stored in a variable, this one stored in J. Right, so B is the correct answer. 58. Which of the following is not a numeric data type? Boolean. Boolean is like 1 or 0. Which of the following programs translates for all program instructions at one time and produces a standalone object program that can be executed on its own? Translates all program instructions, a compiler. Given the variable num declared as follows, double num, which of the following statements will correctly read the value entered by a user into num? If you're using double, you have to use LF, so that'll be D. Because you have to have the and sign. %D will be for integers. 41. The compilation process can be broken up into 3 main stages. The correct order of stages is... I always forget this. Code generation, definitely not that one. Syntax analysis, lexical code generation. Lexical code generation, syntax. Lexical syntax and code generation. Is a fight between A or B. A or C, sorry. B is wrong. But it should be syntax then lexical first. Or it's lexical then syntax. I believe it's syntax then lexical. I hope. Yes. Syntax analysis, lexical analysis, or lexical analysis and syntax analysis. I'm not sure. Okay. A. I'll put A. You always check for syntax first. Alright, we'll go with lexical and syntax. Check the answers. Let me just double check. I am not smart. Lexical, syntax, and semantic. Right, yeah, lexical. Yeah, okay. Right, lexical then syntax. Then the next one would be semantic, and then after semantic will be intermediate code generation, and then code optimization, and then the libraries. 42. Based on the following C program, which of the following is true? So dot void mean void int end file pointer is got echo one mh dot dat in read mode. F scanf for file pointer %d and n printf n is %dn. I'm not sure about this, you know. Those two backslashes. Those two backslashes kind of weird. I'm not too sure. If you put a file, you have to put. If you put two backslashes, no. If you put C colon backslash, it'll be a file path. If you put one backslash, I think it's line 5 have the error, you know. I don't think you'll be able to read the file if you have put two backslashes in front of it. But then again, it kind of depends on the compiler that you use, if it will be able to like ignore that, or if it doesn't do that, what are other answers? There are no syntax errors and the program prints 4. This is exactly what the program will do because it will scan the 4 and print the 4. Yeah, and it's 4. But is line 5 a syntax error? I think it will be a syntax error. I remember from some IAs when you put a backslash in front. If you put two backslashes, it doesn't work. But if you put one backslash, it should work because that will be the file path. We'll see what they have in for their answers. Other than that, the answer would be C. There's no syntax errors, but I think that's a syntax error. The method of manually stepping through a program with the use without the use of a computer, that's called tracing or desk checking. So we'll go tracing. Then 44, which are the best data type in C allows the programmer to use a set of named integer constants. What? Named integer constants. Struct. Set of named integer constants. Fill a bunch of integers. Oh, you're fully correct, you know. They didn't put fscanf, they just had normal scanf. Yes, alright, and the problem is C. Okay, the problem is on line 6. So that means the two backslashes will work well for the file. Like, can you put two backslashes when you create a file in C? Oh, let me check that. Well. AC, I'm not too sure. I think it only supposed to be one backslash, but I think it's depending on the type of compiler they use. But they definitely didn't put fscanf. So because they didn't put fscanf, that's clearly the problem. So yeah, we will take B. Alright, a struct will store a set of named integer constants. Yes, a struct will do that. Because they're all constants. 45 refers to the following code. What is the value of the code after execution? ABC is 1, for I is 1 to less than 5, so it's going from 1 to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4 times it should run. Each of the times it should be A multiplied by I. A is 1, 1 by 1. should give you 1, so that'll be 1 plus 5, which will be 6 the first time. Second time that runs will be 1 by 2, which is 2. 2 by 5 will be 10. So 6 plus 10. No. The value of A they're asking for, my bad. So the first time will be 1 by 1 and 1 by 2. 1 by 3, 1 by 4. What? A is equal to A by I. So I will be 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. A is always going to be, oh no, A goes up each time. Okay. Trace table for it. I was trying to do it without having to do a trace table, but I must. So we'll have I is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm really concerned about B because, you know, we just want to know what A gonna happen. So A is equal to A by I, which is 1 by 1 is 2. 1 by 1 is 1. I planned that. Then A is equal to A by I, which is 1 by 2 is 2. A is equal to A by I, 2 by 3 is 6. A by 6 by 4 is 24. So A will end up being 24 after the fourth loop, because you're going to get I is 4 and A would have become 6, right? 24. Is my maths matching? Maybe it is. Okay, let's go and check the answers now and see if there are any inconsistencies, discrepancies, or uncertainties. Answer sheet. Do I have the computer science? Yes. Specimen, paper, answers, masking. Alright. Let's see. Alright, for number 1, we had C. They have C. Yeah. Then we have D for number 2, A for number 3, number 4 is A, number 5 is D, number 6. Oh, they have B. To determine the sequence in which the program instructions are to be executed. That is a weird way to say to keep track of the next instruction in memory, but yeah, alright, I'll change that. 6 would be D, 6 would be B. But the actual definition of the program counter is it keeps track of the next instruction to be executed. That's the textbook definition of our program counter. So I can't say no. I mean, I can't tell them that they're wrong. I mean, I can, but this one, I guess B is the better answer than D. But it's still not totally correct. It's kind of confusing. Alright, 7 is B. 8 is A. 9 is C. 10 B. Oh, they have B. The speed at which the microprocessor executes instructions. Number of bits transferred across a medium in a second. Alright, you see this medium thing here? That's almost like transferring data over a network. But the fact that they have seconds here, that's closer to clock speed than anything, because per second is literally hertz. So I would think that hertz would be the measurement. This one has nothing about per second, but they put B. B it is. They should say something about seconds though. Per second or something like that. Alright, so we're changing number 10 to B. I accept, I concede. 11 is C, 12 is A according to them, 13 is B according to them, 14 D. Alright, so far we in sync. 15 B, 16 D, 17 D, 18 C, 19 D, 20 A, 21 B, 22 D, 23 B, 24 D, right, 25 C, 26 B, 27 C is correct. Y'all understand 27? Like why it will print back out 137?
Not really.
Recursion is kind of weird. It's kind of like this. You have this big box here. This big box here is going to have the 7 in it, but it can't print it out yet because it can't get to the printf statement. But before it reaches to the printf statement, it call back the function again, and inside this smaller box there, it has the number 3 in it. But it can't get to the printf statement because it calls itself back again, and this box has 1 in it. But because the 1 is now, well, now 1, it will be like 0.75 or some kind of thing like that. Because this is now correct, it is now going to be like, okay, cool. We could now return and print out this 1 and then come back out and print out the 3 and then come back out and print out the 7. So that's why you get 137, because you're basically calling back yourself in the middle each time. And the only time you're able to come out of the loop, like inception, is when the condition is no longer met. But that's the thing you learn in university. Like recursion is something that you'd already grasp on time. But let's just say if you see this question, when in doubt, choose C, okay? Because to explain that out and what is actually happening programmatically, it's tough. 28 C, 29 B, 30 D, 31 A, yeah, 32 B, 33 D. Oh, they have D. Why would they have D for 33? Which of the following programming paradigms encourages a modular approach to program construction? How in the world would they put D? What is extreme programming paradigm? Nope, I disagree. I disagree 110%. This is madness.
Wait, so sir, what do we put? Because they're the ones correcting it, so... Because I had functional, so
we reached our problem in life where the examining body that is going to examine you has errors in their specimen paper. If you get back the same question, do you assume that they have made an error in the real paper also? And I do have an answer for you, you know. I do have an answer for you. The best I can tell you is do the right thing. Put the right answer. And hope that they made a mistake here and they knew about it, and when they give you the real paper that they don't mark it wrong. Yeah, sorry I can't help you more, but definitely the answer here is functional. That's not even a question. That's not even a question. So let's try and see what. It's saddening. 34 C, yeah, we got that. 35 B, 36 B, 37 B, 38 A, 39 B, 40 D, 41 C, 42 C. Oh, wait. For 42, they have that there are no syntax errors and the program prints 4. Clearly that's wrong because you can't scan from a file by putting scanf, you have to put fscanf. So on line 6 there is a problem. There is a problem. Yeah, we can't agree with that. This is a repeat question or this is a new question? I don't know. I don't think I remember seeing this in any of the other papers.
I think it's a new one.
Yeah, how would I remember this one? I don't think it's this. Yeah, there's a new one. This is clearly B, right? We see that for sure. You must have FScanF. You must have FScanF. Definitely. And that's even worse than the two backslashes. I could allow that depending on the compiler that you use and the environment variables and all that stuff. You could have different things, but FScanF. So 42 is B. We're not fighting that. 43A, 44. They have D? Which of the best data type in C? I'm not reading any question, it doesn't even make grammatical sense. Which of the best data type in C allows a programmer to use a set of named integer constants? What is enum? Why would they put enum? Enum is something from Java, I think, you know. Enum in C, let's grab enum in C. Enumeration is a user-defined data type in C. It's used mainly to assign names to integral constants. The names make a program easy to read and maintain. Well, apparently it's a thing. I've never taught a student this in my life. Yeah, enum is a thing. Named integer constants. Yes, is enum for real? Alright, we learned something there today. They needed to know enum. Now I should start to include that in my notes, because it's weird. Sorry, 44 is enum, okay. 45 is C, that's 24. Alright, that's correct. Alright, so things that we learned is that they want you to know enum. I don't think that was in a previous paper. Never saw that before. But that don't even mention any syllabus anywhere. But anyhow, in the syllabus they just have C programming. They don't tell you how much C programming they actually have to know. The only way teachers know the C programming is by like getting past papers and seeing what they ask. Alright, that's the specimen paper. Wasn't as bad as all the other specimen papers because some of them have a lot of mistakes, but there were a few problems there. But we'll take it. If you see the answers, if you see these questions repeated or whatnot, it's your choice to put the correct answer or the answer that they have in the specimen paper. I really can't tell you how it will be. I assume that they will have the correct answer in there when they're marking.